And it just occurred to me as well, it might have been a little unfair to Brek Shea because, I mean, regardless of the fact that everybody posted that it was a 4-3-3, I think all of us know that was not a 4-3-3. It was like a 4-1-4-1. Then basically you had four in the back. You had Adu behind Bradley and Jones, and then on the midfield section you had on the left midfield Shea and the right midfield Holden, and then you had Josie playing all by himself up front, and it you were asking too much of Brek Shea. He had to play left midfield, and then he was also asked then to also play a left forward spot, and he never really got into left forward. In fact, he never got out wide. Frankly, he kept pinching in and pinching in and pinching in all game long, and I thought that was to his detriment, really.
Yeah, and it's obviously something new that Bradley was trying out. So you're asking him to play perhaps a little different role than he's used to in a system where not everybody on the U.S. team right now is used to playing that together. So everyone's kind of unsure about, okay, how do we play? How do we slide? How do we fit this in? And then you got a young guy with already just questions about his role,
right?
Versus and adding on top of that. So yeah, I think that was definitely a bit of a tough situation for him.
I was going to say the biggest question mark with Shea is where do you play him? Because with FC Dallas he plays left mid, but everybody talks about it, and even when he played with the U20s, he was utilized more as a striker. I mean, FC Dallas even talked about using him as a left back, which I believe he played a couple games in last season. It's just the big question mark. He's not really. Finally, this season, he settled in at left mid, and hopefully he continues to push at left mid. But it's a big question mark is where Bob's going to play him.
Yeah, I mean he's certainly got the height for a striker. But speaking of strikers, I'm going to move on to the next one, which is Eddie Johnson. And you made a pretty firm comment there, Lewis, that he needs to either produce or vanish. And that's the kind of writing I love, by the way. EJ is finally getting some playing time at Fulham alongside Dempsey. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's he started the last game. He's been coming off the bench, but he still hasn't scored there, even though he's looked pretty good. Did Eddie do enough for you on Tuesday to kind of stay in the picture?
Well, I don't think he, played terrible, but I don't think he played that great. Now, I don't think really anybody in that game, would qualify as having had a great performance,
Yeah.
So I won't hold it too much against him, but I do think that what's most important for him to get more call-ups is to really break through once again, at the club. I just see him as a player who's still with the U.S. anyways, living off of, 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still young, 26. That's still relatively young, and, obviously he's got he could have, 8 years left of him, in front of him, but he's really got to play because, there are other guys in MLS, particularly who are scoring, who are, putting the ball away, looking pretty good while doing so, who could get a call up. I mean, Justin Braun, Chris Wondolowski. I mean, obviously they're untested. They're a little nervy probably, but they're at least scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, and Eddie Johnson, it's like I think there's still that maybe he can do what he did before, and now that he's playing, okay, maybe he's on the cusp,
Right.
It's like, no, I want to see him score some goals and continue playing, become a 90-minute player, before he gets more call-ups, just because he's playing for whatever, be it Fulham or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's just simply playing time is enough to get called back up.
Well, yeah.
I think if Eddie Johnson was a midfield player, then yes, I think he'd be dropped off the list completely. But since our striker list is so thin as is, basically our top 4 at the moment would be Josie. As long as we're listing Dempsey as a midfield player, but if you were listing him as a striker, then our top 5 would be Josie, Dempsey, Gomez, Buttle, and Johnson. I mean, it's just I would like to just get a striker that can score. Period.
But I think what you're saying is, Lewis, is that why not try some young kids like Braun? Let's give them a shot.
Yeah, you don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, we'll have that shot come November, January area, and that's when they'll get their chance to shine, because that'll be the time where Josie and Dempsey and EJ won't be able to play. You'll have Braun, you'll have Wondolowski, you'll have everybody who will get their shot. Hopefully,
I don't think Wondolowski
hopefully we don't
gets
hopefully
a
we
shot.
don't see. I would like to see him get a shot. I really would. I've liked him this season. He's looked sharp. I would like to see him get a shot.
I don't think you will.
I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying I would like to see him get a shot.
Right. I guess it's a wish list thing.